Welcome back to In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. Today is December 20th, 2019, 9 o'clock. And today's show title is called The Black Mouse Utopia Social Engineering Projects. I should just say project, but projects. And we're going to be dealing with that, me and my co-host Smoke. We're going to speak on the Mouse Utopia experiment, and we're going to talk a little on politics today. And we're just going to get into that. We're going to talk about and compare and contrast that social experiment and related to the black race, more than likely. And we're going to, delve into the whole ideology of the behavioral think, which is a term that was invented by a white guy named John B. Calhoun. He was an ethologist or something like that. It's ethologist. It's dealing with behavior. It's a study of animal behavior. So that's what he was. That was his craft, so to say. So we're going to speak on that, and we're going to speak on that, and tie it into black people, just to show you why we move the way we move, why we act the way we act, why you see a lot of different abnormal behaviors so prevalent in our communities. We're going to tie it in and show you where it comes from. You're not born this way. The guest call-in number is 516-531-9992. So we're going to get into this. Before my, waiting for my host, the co-host to call in. He ain't called in yet. So until he do, let me go ahead and get myself situated. I got my nice glass of water. I have me already a spliff that I twisted up myself, I was going to say pre-roll, but then I don't want that to sound like I have to rely on already twisted joints. I heard that's the new thing in the hood now. It's that guys don't know how to roll their own spliffs, which is the strangest shit to me because that was always a no-no. That was always something taught to you when you was younger as a guy. Like, you don't smoke anybody's shit. If somebody rolling, you want to see them roll because you don't want nobody lacing your shit. Now you got these guys out here don't even know how to twist their own spliffs. So now they're buying blunts and joints that's already twisted up and don't even know what's in it. Strange times that we live in. But before we continue, let's bring in our co-host Smoke. Smoke, is that you? Smoke, is that you?
Yeah. You hear me?
All right. What's good, yo?
Shit, man. Shit, glad to be in the building. Fucking with these damn dogs, man. They got a fucking dog and shit. I'm like,
me. You got a dog?
Fucking, yeah, damn Charlie and I'm not convinced me into getting this damn dog. Little bulldog, little English bulldog. He a cool dog, you know what I'm saying? But we got two of them over here because Aubrey got one. So I'm waiting for him to get his dog. He got the little cage for him. They like cage trained and all that. They don't be barking that much. They like cool dogs. You know what I'm saying? About as cool as a dog gonna get.
Right.
You got to clean up. You got to clean up after them. You know what I'm saying? So I've been putting them in the little garage, and they've been like chilling out there, but it's kind of cold out there. So, but luckily they like cage trained, so they like you put them in the cage, they cool. They ain't really tripping.
It's cool.
So they cool. So far so good.
So that means they're institutionalized.
Yeah.
They don't mind being in the cell. But they make it sound nice about their cage raised.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah, institutionalized.
Yeah, so they cool so far, you know what I'm saying? But it's like Aubrey, he's supposed to get his dog either this weekend or like during the week or whatever. So I could kind of like work with the other dog, with my dog more. You know what I'm saying? Because they both like, you try to get one to sit down, the other one want to jump around. I'm like, all right, this ain't going to be too effective. But we only had him for like 5-6 days, so it's cool so far. Let's see how that shit works.
Nah, I feel that.
It was good though.
Oh shit, man! You know me. I've been on my vacation shit for the last 2 weeks. I go back to work Monday and shit. So, man, it feels good not to work, yo. I feel like I was laid off. I just been chilling and shit in the crib and other little bullshit. Nothing major, you know what I'm saying? Nothing major. I'm really trying to wrap off the end of this year. I'm looking for other little stock patterns. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
All right.
But the only thing is, because I'm in the house, when I'm in the house, I don't really follow up too much with the politics. I'd rather just deal with my children and stuff. But some of the damn politics...
Nah, there you go.
Yeah, it's some funny shit, man. I'm looking at the political game going on now. And... I don't know, the shit is funny as hell to me, because now that the House gathered together their little 2 fucking articles, what am I trying to say? When they got the 2 articles of impeachment, on fucking Trump, now it's like, it's time for the Senate. Now it's like the House wanna try to control the Senate and be like, well, y'all need to do it like this, And it's like, nah, yo, all that big fucking tough talking and you know what I mean and shit like that, all of that shit. It's like, to me, all that shit is just funny. You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
yeah, it's just a show.
Y'all had y'all run.
Like,
yeah,
they know that the Senate is controlled by the Republicans. And they're not gonna go for it with no impeachment. So it's like, yeah, all right, you did it on the House side, but it's like, all right, what next? So it was like when you go back a few years, it's like, the big impeach, all of that is going on. So now it happened. Okay, like what's next? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a show or whatever. People into it, but I thought people would be reacting to it more, at least the people I've been around. It's like, they already know, it's like, well, he's not getting removed from office, so. It's
yeah,
just
see,
like,
but the whole thing is, now they want to scream, oh, well, the Senate, Trump got them in the pocket, and now they're going to control. See, all of that is the tough talking that you do to try to punk people into making a decision. If you follow the goddamn impeachment shit, them niggas, the House is inside there like, you ain't talking, I ain't give you rights to talk. Like, they flexing their muscles, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? That's their house. They in control. Even remember when Trump wanted to do the damn State of the Union shit, and the House was like, nah, you're not invited. You can't do it over here. Like, the House was flexing their muscles once they got power. But guess what? Now, it's like, hey, now we go to the Senate. We're about to knock all of this shit y'all did. We're about to knock that shit out the water. Now they crying. Because guess what? You know, because the example I like to use is this. I'm going to use a sports example. It's like me and you playing basketball, right? So I shoot, right? So I score, and I'm celebrating. But you get the ball next.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's more to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like there's more to the game.
Right,
But you celebrating just because you scored, and it's like, all right, you scored, but the game ain't over. We still, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? So
exactly.
That's what's happening right now, and they know. They know that's how, you know what I'm saying, the outcome of this shit. Y'all not going to win. Y'all not going to win.
Right.
Y'all got outsmarted by that man that y'all said was stupid. Y'all got outsmarted. So now they go back to the emotions. Oh, he's going to use, you know, he got the Republicans in his back pocket. The Republicans, they're so weak and spineless and all these different emotional terms because guess what? All of that hype shit y'all did. Because, and you know what's funny too? I'm listening to Roland Martin. Roland Martin, when he was on TV One, Al Green. Remember we did a whole show, we talked about it. Al Green came up with those articles of impeachment. And when Nancy Pelosi and all the rest of them white, remember that shit? None of them was jocking the whole fucking impeachment shit. And they was like, well, do you think it's a waste of time, Al Green? And he was like, nah, I don't think it's a waste of time. You know, even if it doesn't pass, at least my name is on record saying that I wanted Trump to be impeached. So all this time since 2017, they knew. Yeah, they knew that it goes to the Senate, and y'all going to lose in the Senate if y'all don't got control of the Senate. Y'all knew that already. But what they do is they like to talk because what I realize is, and just to be clear, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, but I'm just telling you my analysis of what's going on. So when I'm looking at how this game is being played and all the stories and what was said and everything, and you know what I'm saying, like all the different tells from all these years that everybody forgets about. So Trump is elected 2016, and now at 2019, y'all have 2 articles of impeachment for him with nothing involving Russia or Putin or hacking or elections or... You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
That's like right now I'm investigating you for 15 years, and I'm calling you the biggest drug dealer in the world. But the only thing I'm about to charge you with is jaywalking and fucking
traffic
tickets and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this is enough to bring you in. And I'm just like, yeah, you watching me. Like you literally said, Smoke, you are the criminal. Now let's build the crime around you. Straight up. Then the TV goes and telling all these black people, yo, this is the stuff that Trump is doing and he's wrong for doing. And I'm just, my birthday was yesterday. I just turned 39. So there is 30, you know what I'm saying? Thanks. There is 3 decades I done lived through. I done watched Bill Clinton take a fucking president out of Haiti. Kidnap a fucking president. You see what I'm saying? Batista, whatever his name is. Aristide. How you snatch up somebody's president and that's cool? We done watch the fucking Nancy Pelosi say that she didn't find articles impeachment worthy for Bush, Daddy Bush. I mean, George W.
Dog.
When he lied, when she said she knew, the House Intel Committee knew that George Bush then was lying about weapons of mass destruction, invaded a sovereign nation, killing Americans, killing Iraqis, took away our fucking our privacy to security and all kind of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And she said that didn't rise to a level of impeachment. See, what happened is, just like Elijah Muhammad said, the media will make you, will make the hero the villain, and the villain the hero. I'm not calling Trump a hero, but I damn sure ain't calling him no villain. If you understand what I'm saying. We watch these presidents do a gang of fucking shit. And literally since this dude became president, the damn Democrats came and said, yo, we gunning for damn Trump. Okay, you want to gun for Trump, gun for Trump. But then I always tie everything back to how do this benefit or tie in to black people? What do they say to us, Smoke? When it comes to black people and vote in the South? It doesn't matter. We got to get Trump out. We don't got time for black agendas. We got to get Trump out. Well, y'all should have asked for something. Y'all ain't asked for nothing. Well, y'all ain't vote. You can't complain. Well, this ain't just about black people. This is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? All these different rhetorics and shit. And it's just like, we're not playing the game for self. That's my problem. We're not playing the game for self. So we let the TV tell us shit like this, for example, Smoke. Now, I'm going to let you run. I had one of the homies call me up because we got a bet. I told him Trump getting the second term. He said Trump not getting the second term. We had this bet years ago. They got me on videotape, all that shit, right? Yo, this dude called me up. And he like, yo, where my money at? I said, my money? I said, what are you talking about? I said, ain't no election happening? So he was like, yeah, but he just got impeached. I said, yeah, you know that shit got to go to the Senate, right? And that shit ain't going nowhere past the Senate. Yeah, so you think America really going to vote for Trump? Yeah, what are we talking? Listen, holla at me November 2020. Don't call me this early. You calling me mad fucking early about losing. I hope you're that persistent when that vote come in and they say Trump getting that second term. I want that same phone call that early and quick. I want to see that phone call.
Yeah.
Here's your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. We listen to the goddamn TV, and the TV tell us how to think. Go ahead, Smoke.
Yeah.
That shit wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just a whole play by the Democrats. They don't have a strong candidate. They ain't, they didn't have like.
They ain't got no strong.
They ain't have strong support all around. Period. You know what I'm saying? And so now you got Trump in office. You know, that's the main objective of every person that wanted to be president on the Democratic side. They, their main goal is to get them out. So it's like now, you just if you take into account what you just said or whatever, they go through this whole, sideshow of impeachment. They succeed in getting the impeachment, but it has to go through the Senate. So we know it's not gonna happen. So for me, for what I think, it's like, all right, he's not going to get run out of office. He's still going to be president, and then they're going to use that to kind of bring in the next candidate. It's like a whole show. Like, all right, we got somebody now that's going to defeat him. He look at him. He's so corrupt. He's able to defeat impeachment. You know what I'm saying? It's like they'll make it spin like that because most people that's watching, they're not really informed on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody even really thought about the impeachment process. Not to say like whether you're smart or, not to say some, not to judge somebody intelligent. Most people is not even thinking about that impeachment process. Like, the smartest person. So unless you knew that, you ain't. When you saw it on flash on TV, you was thinking, he about to be out of here. Trump is gone.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a process. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's like that's all part of the show. And then it gives them more time to figure out who can kind of rise from the ashes on their side to kind of be the, to be the candidate or whatever. And so, like,
it's crazy.
For me, but it's gonna have the opposite effect though, because
the crazy
it's gonna
crazy part about you saying that. The crazy part about you saying that is I heard I think I listened to MSNBC or something. I'm at work listening to this shit. So I'm listening to this shit and I heard one woman say they questioned it. They're like, well, shit, Kamala and everybody fell out, right? And shit like that. So they're going to say, well, I think what the problem was, everybody assumed that Hillary was going to win. So these candidates technically wasn't supposed to have been running until 2024 or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? If the math is correct, it was 2024. 2024, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting over here like, what? That's the dumbest. So you're telling me that this was 2024, Kamala would have been strong enough to be the person? Like, what? Booker would have been strong enough? All these other people would have been strong enough? Like, that, she literally said the reason why these Democratic candidates are weak right now is because Hillary Clinton didn't run. Didn't win. Didn't win. And she was supposed to win. And that's what was supposed to set up. And I was like, what? That doesn't even make sense. Mind you, Trump is supposed to be this weak candidate. Trump is such a weak fucking candidate. Over 20 goddamn candidates ran against this dude. And none of them, the ones who if you honest, and want to say, I wouldn't mind seeing this guy's plan or this woman's plan play out. You know what I'm saying? Them Democrats don't want their ass.
If you being objective, you see that they just hit now. It's like, take away Trump personality because he helps. He helps the, you know what I'm saying, the shit with his personality, like the shit he be saying, how he be shooting at people with the Twitter fingers and all of that. Like, he helps with that. But like, if you kind of strip that away, it's like you see that it's like a hit. It's like they coming for his head with like all of the the shit that's going on. It's like, take support away. You know what I'm saying? Because like you were saying, like, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't support any of them, really. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but if you take all of that away and just be objective, it's like, okay, well, all right, come on now. You know what I'm saying? But it's just all a game to me by that Democratic side. It's like buying time. Like, all right, we could do this. We'll keep this rolling for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think back to, like, those shows during the time when he first got elected, and, like the, what was Auntie singing? Not impeached, but she was saying something. The resist movement.
Yes.
So you think back from the resist movement to now, that's damn near 4 years. You know what I mean? So you can see how quickly time can be wasted with rhetoric. You just
we kept saying
one piece of one idea, and that could last a whole year. So you got 4 years now that time has been wasted. So when you got this impeachment situation going on, that's just more time that you could blow smoke to the people and just work behind the scenes to try to accomplish whatever. I mean, the presidency in this case.
Nah, but also
yeah.
Keep in mind that was the number one theme of our shows all last year, or whatever year that, 2017 or whatever year it was that we did the show.
Yeah.
It was, all of this is a waste of time. All of this is a waste of time. Why is the Congressional Black Caucus wasting time? This is a waste of time. I'm listening to Roland Martin talk now, because now this is what I know about his platform, right? I'm going to give you a timeline. When you start hearing the whole ADOS and all that shit like that, right? And they started doing that talk and that movement and shit like that, damn, that's when you started to see the black, during that time, that's when the black boule bougie class and shit, that's when they would laugh at the thought. Reparations, black agenda, B1, what B1, black first? I'm not, what, no vote, no tangible, no vote, what the? These groups is Russian bots. That was the type of shit they would say. You know what I mean? Then, when they started to see, because this is what they're not telling you on the news. Right. When they're looking at the vote in numbers for the black vote, them shits is not high. Them shits is low. Them shits is low. But they're not saying that because they're trying to keep it up like, oh, the black vote turnout here in South Carolina and the black voters turnout for Biden is high. And no, y'all sharing the same fucking black voters because the black voting population is low. You're not talking about shit. You ask, what you gonna do for black people? They laugh at us. Then you want to separate the black woman from the black man. Oh, the black woman, she's our main vote anyway. She's the main person to worry about. She's the one that we have to. So it's fuck the black man. Then they prop up the black woman, all to turn around and say, we ignore the black woman. We got to stop doing that. We ignore the black woman. We got to stop doing that. We neglect the black woman. We got to stop doing that because she's our number one voter. So you prop the black woman up for her vote and ignores her. You don't even acknowledge the black man unless he's a tranny. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, no, the black voter turnout is low. So because they know the black voter turnout is low, that's when you saw Kamala fall. That's when you see Corey fall, right? Then what happened next? Even Booker. Yeah, not Booker. Even Booty Plug or whatever his name is. Keith Buttigieg. He's on the last debate shit, and they asked him, yo, how do you feel about, and that's what I always say to people, asking these questions, it's a science to how you answer the question, because you never want to give the person a way out. So they go, with them kids at the border, they asked one woman, I can't think of her name right now. She's the one that looked like a dyke. I can't think of her name right now. Not Elizabeth Warren, but the other one. So Amy Kuchaj or some shit. Right? So she goes and she's like, oh yes, those people at the border, the kids, and they do deserve reparations. Not reparations. Yeah, reparations, money reparations, and all kind of shit like that, because it's a lasting effect of what they're dealing with. So then they go to Pete Buttigieg, and they go, yo, what do you got to say about the immigrants at the border and stuff like that? So he goes like this. One word, yes. They deserve it. They deserve the monetary because this and because that and because that and because this. So I told my girl, I said, oh, I hope he excited like that if they ask him about reparations. I ain't never heard him that excited when they talk about reparations. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got this roundabout way of talking. So I leave. My girl like, babe, come back. They asking him. I'm like, asking him what? They asked him about preparation. I'm like, oh shit. I go back. Yo, what about cash money for reparations for Black America? Now it's and then because he's a talker. He'll speak and he'll talk and he'll put words together. After a while, you don't even know what the fuck the question was, right? So he's talking and shit, and he's saying all the shit he's saying, and I'm listening and shit, and I'm like, yo, this dude once again talking about education and rebuilding communities, and no. You just said you wanted to give some fucking illegal immigrants
I hate that
money. You know what I'm saying? But then you want to tell us how you want to condition us to get better, and I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. So then the moderator asked Joe Biden. So Joe Biden, what you got to say about money for reparations? This is what Joe Biden said. This is why Joe Biden is going to be the Democratic nominee, right? Joe Biden said, straight the fuck up. He kept it a buck. He said, you know what, this is my first time answering the question. So let me answer the question. He said, now, the Latinos coming over the border is really dealing with hardship. And I was like, what? What the fuck do Latinos got to do with Black people getting reparations? Yo, this nigga ain't say shit about, he literally, he said, the woman said, Joe Biden, what do you have to say about Black people getting reparations, or African Americans or whatever getting reparations? He said, I'm glad to answer the question. You can look this shit up. It's on the PBS when it happened recently, right? 2 days ago or some shit. He said, I'm glad to answer the question because this is the first time I was asked this question, so I'm going to answer it. And the nigga went on a rant about Latinos. Straight the fuck up. He went on a whole fucking rant about Latinos. And I'm like, what? Like, so your first time answering the question about Black people get reparations, you start talking about what Latinos need? And then they wonder why Black people not voting. So then when they say Black people don't vote, here they go. Because the Russian bots and the Russians in 2016, this Roland Martin. Because the largest Black Lives Matter Facebook group we found out was a Russian troll. Right? Let me tell you something, yo. Black people wasn't even fucking with Black Lives Matter during that time. Think about it, folks. Real black people wasn't fucking with Black Lives Matter for a long time, years. Once we started realizing, y'all linked up with that gay shit. Y'all not for us. Fuck out of here. Y'all for that Baki shit.
All the niggas and shit.
Yeah.
All the niggas are tied into that.
So for him to turn around and say, oh, the Russian bots was tied into Black Lives Matter movements, convincing blacks to, the fuck is you talking about? The black people you should be worrying about, they wasn't tied into the Black Lives Matter. They've been stopped fucking with them. Straight the fuck up. They've been stopped fucking with Black Lives Matter. So I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
That's all the play.
Because they talk about a different class system of blacks. They're not talking about the majority of blacks. They're talking about a class system. Then I hear Roland Martin talk about today, because now they're getting worried. Every day now, I'm hearing Roland Martin, they sound real somber. Oh, because black folks is out here. Every time I turn around, they saying, what's the NAACP doing? What's the CBC doing? Don't y'all fools know that the CBC is the reason why? And don't y'all fools know? And you're stupid. And once they start doing all of that shit, that's when you know. Okay.
I gotta switch my narrative because I'm a TV show host and I need something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's all the plays like building. It's just building up the excuses right now. So when it happens, this is what we got to talk about right here instead of the weakness of the party, because all of them is tied into that party. So it's like, they can't. they can't bomb the party, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they have to, it's very. All right, it's the setup. We set up all these excuses right now, so the viewer, the motherfucker that's watching this shit every day, okay, I seen that coming. You know what I'm saying? But they, it's just the setup. Mm-hmm. They know what it is. They know what it is. Like the politicians been knew what was gonna happen. They knew they couldn't beat that cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now the commentators, so to speak, they starting to realize that. The people not gonna realize it until it happens. You know what I'm saying? Or most of the people anyway. Not gonna realize it until it actually happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't believe Trump got back in. You know, they didn't see any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? They just going on that emotion. So yeah, that's what Roland Martin talking. He already know that he just setting it up so that setting up those excuses.
That's it. Then he gonna start talking about. So there's a certain demographic. No, he gonna show a chart. The chart showing the people that votes for Trump. It was like 45% of white women voted for Trump. Another X amount, the white men vote for Trump. Then it was Asian or whatever like that. Then it was black women was 3%, but black men was 15%. So they like, who are these black men? Here's the woman on the panel. Who are these black men that's voting for Trump? That's voting for Trump, whatever like that. To roll them on, like I'm gonna tell you who they are. These are the black men. They're not college educated. They feel like the Democratic Party isn't speaking to them, and in Trump they see strength. And I'm listening to this shit, and I'm like, so you're basically gonna shame black people who say, yo, this Democratic shit is some bullshit. And then you now want to tell them, oh, they're a demographic group that moves like what? Majority of the Democratic policies go against black men.
Indoctrinated. Basically, that's what you just described is probably somebody who's not indoctrinated by this shit. Like, okay, I didn't go to college. Okay, that's what uneducated means.
Right.
I didn't go to college.
Okay, wait. Let's break it down two ways. I didn't go to college. So then, where do the Democratic monies, a lot of their agenda and push go to? HBCUs.
HBCUs,
right? So continue what you're saying. We're gonna break it down two ways. Yeah.
All right. So what I was saying. So you got. Damn. I got thrown off.
So you said the educated, the uneducated, they only went to high school.
Yeah, so those is basically like somebody who's not indoctrinated. So you didn't go, because we know like college is like, it just really prepare you to go into the system. So it's like, clean yourself up, learn how to do this. You know what I mean? It's basically fitting you into shit. So if you didn't participate in that, so you really in the ills of the world. You see how things are. Yeah. You see how it is that to not have that paper or certification. You know what I'm saying? So again, you less indoctrinated to this.
The second part is you feel like the Democratic Party don't speak to you.
Exactly. So again, if you're not in that path of a college student, you're not fitting into that Democratic mold.
To the homo agenda and shit.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? It's like
black and brown agenda.
Because it's like
minority.
If you go through that, and you go through corporate America, you know what I'm saying, you work in jobs and shit. Even if whether you agree with something or not, you gotta be cognizant of how that shit works. It's like, all right, I'm not gay. I don't like to be around that, but it's like you got gay coworkers, you have shit like that you got to deal with. So it's like you like, all right, I don't agree with this, but I understand how things might go in corporate. You might bend for that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Where somebody who never dealt with that is like, nah, I'm stuck in it. You know, I'm dealing with this the way it is. Forget the politics. You know what I'm saying? So it's just basically, you know, that group that they mentioned is probably not dealing with the politics of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm more straightforward. I deal with the reality of it. I had to work when I came out of high school. I didn't go to college and sit on. You know what I'm saying? 4 years you was just somebody paid for your damn school and all that. You know what I mean? They're gonna look at that different. Somebody in that group. You know what I'm saying?
Now here's the third one.
I went to college, so I can understand that.
Here's the third one. You see strength in Trump. Now, to me, the way I see the strength in Trump situation is anti that PC culture.
Yeah.
And society is against that PC culture in general. Political correctness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Culture. So it's like society is against that, period. You even see that starting cracking with the jokes with comedians. Ever since Dave Chappelle did his shit, you start to hear every comedian now after Dave Chappelle say, yeah, man, but damn, they're making it like comedy is dangerous and we can't say nothing. But no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to buck the system now and I'm going to talk more free and liberal and push against the whole PC shit.
Right.
Ever since Dave Chappelle did that. Prior to Dave Chappelle,
right.
Motherfucker wasn't even touching certain subjects, yo. He wasn't even touching
certain
subjects.
Right.
So it's like, so if you buck the system and you're not going with the flow and you like, yo, man, I'm not with this weak, soft, pussified shit going on. I'm looking at the Democratic Party that I'm supposed to be a part of. Do not represent me in no fucking way. Their policies actually attack me. They openly say ignore me. And then you turn around and you say that, no, you're not part of the fucking college graduate group. You a high school graduate. You a business owner. You a get money dude. You a problem? All that lets me know if you a man and you standing up holding your nuts and you got your own fucking opinion, the Democratic Party not for you. They telling you that we're not for you. That's not what we're about. We about people that goes with the flow, follow our agendas, willing to change and bend and fold, and do what we want you to do. If you not no passive, you know what I'm saying, type of dude that if we tell you it's okay for your sons to wear a dress, then you're going to say, well, now it's okay for boys to wear dresses. That's the type of man that they want. Somebody like that. Somebody that sits there and just be like, well, they said it's okay to date transsexuals, so I'm going out tomorrow with one. I want to prove I'm not homophobic. That's the type of people that they want. And if you're not fitting into that mind frame and that mold, ain't no purpose of being a Democratic Party. So that's what Roland Martin's saying. So when I'm hearing this shit, you know what I'm saying, and he like, well, this is the group that does, and I'm listening to this shit, and I'm like, what? But again, I'm hearing fear in their voice because they know the numbers. When they do those poll-ins, black people not tapping in. When I will go on their YouTube page and I'll make the comments, and I'll be like, yo, in the beginning, and I'm telling them when Kamala first jumped in there, I said she cannot carry the black vote. She can't carry the black vote. I said, first of all, see, now this is during the ADOS shit. I said, so if the majority of black people is on some ADOS, we black Americans type shit, who are you? Foreigner? Kamala Harris is not ADOS. So she can't scream black because she don't represent black. But what you mean she don't represent black? Yo, Kamala Harris received, they said when she was in the Senate, she was the first African-American woman to be in the Senate or whatever, you know, whatever her accolades is, right, as an African-American woman, and the first Asian American woman to be in the Senate. So how the fuck can she be African-American and Asian? So then somebody will say, well, her mother is East Indian, and Indians are considered Asian, right? So that's understandable. So that's understandable if you're mixed. That's understandable, right? You're Asian. Okay, you represent that half. Now, explain to me, Smoke, what is Kamala Harris' African American half?
I don't know.
Her daddy from Jamaica. Her daddy from Jamaica.
Jamaica.
So if your daddy's from Jamaica, how are you African American?
Right.
That don't make no sense. That makes no fucking sense. But yet, you sitting around here saying this shit. You're saying this shit, and you're speaking for a group of people, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you don't know the plight, and you don't know the struggle, and you don't know the solution. It's a difference if you saying, yo, I got the solution. But no, you playing into the white man's solution, and you married to a fucking white dude. So it's like you have nothing about you showing blackness and representing African Americans in this country. And then you laughed on the fucking Breakfast Club when they asked you the question if what you gonna do for black people? And she laughed and thought she had the black vote. That was the most craziest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. So when I'm seeing this shit and I'm writing this shit on Roland Martin page, they calling me a Russian bot. I said the only reason why you're calling me a Russian.
That should be.
I said the only reason why you're calling me a Russian bot is because TV told you to say that shit. I'm like, what are you talking? I'm telling them she cannot carry the black vote. What happened later? They're saying, oh, if she cannot carry the black vote, you goddamn right she can't. See, when you with the people, you know. When you out here with the people, you know. When you out there in high-ass society and shit like that with the bougie black, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. You don't know. But when you down here with the people, you hear the rumblings. You hear the gripes. And then you got the other shit going on, Smoke. Let me just give a little refresher for the show real quick.
Walk and live. Dark and bumbuckler dead.
We out here in the almost to that midpoint. So this is In Black America Radio with your host Rasta B, co-host Smoke. You want to say something, Smoke?
Nah. Shout out to everybody.
The title of the show, The Black Mouse Utopia Social Engineering Project. And the guest calling number is 516-531-9992. So, as we're going to continue. So, damn, I missed my damn thought. I'm trying to thought on what to say. But the whole Kamala shit, so that's it. So they telling me I'm a Russian bot and all that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point is, if you can't decipher this shit and understand what's going on and how to, then the next story is, they want to purge the fucking voting logs. They want to purge them. So motherfuckers can't even vote. Not can't vote. You're gonna have to re-register to vote. You know what I'm saying? But they purge it. So I'm reading that shit, and Roland Martin and them, they out there. Oh, look, black people, they gonna stop you from voting. Black people, they gonna purge the logs. Black people. And my girl asked me that, and she was like, "Yo, what you think about that?" So I told her, I said straight up, I said, they need to purge the fucking logs. You know what I'm saying? Yo, first of all, in the majority of black people getting their fucking shit purged and all that shit, then so fucking be it. Ain't nobody should have no business voting if you're not donating to the candidate. Straight up. If you're not donating, I don't mean $5,000 plates and all kind of shit. No, you could donate $1. If you're not donating to a candidate, you don't need a vote. Straight up, you don't need a vote. They condition us with this voting shit, and got us thinking voting and just picking somebody on a fucking ballot and taking our asses home. We don't even understand what the point of voting is. That's why you keep hearing black people say the shit that you don't hear no other race or group, special interest group, say. What are y'all gonna do for us? What is y'all gonna do for black folks? What is your black agenda? You ain't never gonna hear no gays go to no damn politician and say, what is your plan for us? That sounds funny thinking about it. A bunch of transgenders, a bunch of 6-foot broad shoulder ass niggas and shit walking around with dresses and shit and titties and all kind of shit like that, and they're gonna ask politicians, what do you plan for us? How do you plan on making our lives better? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, how fucking no, they ain't gonna say no stupid shit like that. They're walking over here telling you this is what we want. We want to use special bathrooms and we want to fucking do all this weirdo shit that we want to. They telling you what they want to do. They're not asking politicians that shit. They telling you what they want. Black people, Mexicans. We want to come into the country. We want our fucking illegal immigrants to have amnesty. That's what they say. They're not asking a bunch of Mexicans.
Agenda. They got an agenda.
They got an agenda. And they pushing it. And they funding it. Black people, we're taught to believe that we're supposed to ask politicians who are liars, politicians who get money from corporations that do harm to us, politicians, and say, what is your plan for me? No. You're supposed to go to the politician that you're funding and tell him, yo, why the fuck you ain't got this in your bill yet? That's how you're supposed to talk to a politician. Let me put it this way. The way we handle politicians is like going to a restaurant and the waiter comes up to you and says, are you ready to order? And you says to the waiter, yes, give me your best meal that you have inside the restaurant. What do you think I should order off your menu? Can you write down what you think I should be buying here? And they like, okay, well, here's your appetizer, here's your thing, and you're gonna get a dessert. Here's a couple of drinks you're gonna have. That's right, $100 a piece, and my gratuitous tax. Made money off this one here. That's what's gonna happen. That's how ridiculous that shit sounds. You know what I'm saying? That's how ridiculous that shit sounds. So it's like, this is the shit that we doing. We have to pay our politicians. These politicians move up in rank. They fight for what we have, what our communities need. Because what we always hear, Smoke, it ain't about the presidential election. It's about the local election, right? So if we're paying our politicians locally, and again, you know me, I talk about economy. So when I'm speaking in the best case scenario in this utopic world that I'm thinking about, where we have an economy again, where we're where we're selling shit to people, where we're producing shit, where we having international trade with the rest of the black world that is disconnected and cut off from the dollar system. Africa's and the West Indies and shit like that. You know how much representation could be going on? You know how much, like you got like in South Africa, the economic freedom fighters, right? They're the economic freedom fighters in South Africa. Do you know how ill that shit would be if them brothers and sisters over there organized would be able to speak to the Black Trade Commission in America? So now our economy is connected to South Africa's economy, and our economy is connected to the West Indian economy, and our economy is connected to the Latino economy. You see what I'm saying? We want to talk about black and brown, but how do we benefit off of brown? We know how Brown benefit off of us, but how do we benefit off of Brown? So we make these dumbass deals that affects our children in the future ultimately, and then we get weaker as a race, and then we scratch our ass trying to wonder how did we get in this position, and then some fucking boule ass nigga turn around and say it's the white man, and then everybody be like, yeah. No, it's dumb decision making. That's what's going on. But you know what, Smoke? We come into that second half, so that's that political talk. I want to get into now the whole Mouse Utopia shit. Did you look into that shit, Smoke? The Mouse Utopia shit?
Yeah, I watched the documentary y'all put me on. I was trying to peep it again before I jumped back on here, but it wasn't working out, man.
So what you thought when you seen it? What was your thought?
I mean, just like...
Oh, you mean to break it down and then you give it thought?
Well, I mean, just how things could be manipulated. I mean, not just going into it, you know, you could get a breakdown. But overall, it was just like how society can be manipulated. And so how people move and think can be changed, you know, with certain factors. So, you know, it just made me try to reflect on like things that's happening now, you know, like programs on TV, you know, how it might affect how, you know, someone might perceive that, you know, their actions going out every day. So it's like, you know, the mouse in this experiment, they didn't know, you know, that they under experiment. So it's like, you know, you could kind of see how the parallel between that and regular society. So, yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, man, that shit, when I seen this shit, I was like, wow, it's really interesting, man. So, I'll break down. I'm gonna break down just the whole synopsis of the breakdown of the whole experiment. It's really like a breakdown in a study done by a guy, like I was saying earlier, ethologist, which is a science of animal behavior, right? Just to show you how these white people operate, right? Versus how we operate, as in we have no counter operation. They're using these rats to determine their animal behavior patterns. In return, see, would people end up result in the same way, basically. So his name is John B. Calhoun, and the studies was done between 1958 and 1962. And then he later did another study from like 1958 to 1962, and then he did another study from like 1968 to 1972, right? Okay. So now this is my breakdown analysis of the whole shit. So the experiment, it was a rectangle confinement that was separated into fours. Right, so imagine a rectangle. It's cut into fours. So you got four boxes, right? Two on the right hand, two on the left hand, two on the top, two on the bottom, right? Each confinement had food, water, and nesting in each box, right? They had the food, they had nesting, and they had two bridges. So now, let's say in the top left-hand corner of the box, right? You got the four boxes, top left-hand corner of the box. You have a bridge that connects down to the bottom left-hand corner of the box. Then from the bottom left-hand corner of the box, you can go across that bridge to the bottom right-hand corner of the box. And then there's another bridge where you can go over to the top right-hand corner of the box. But there is no bridge to connect the top right hand corner of the box to the top left hand corner of the box. So basically, it's like a U, how you can travel, right? Okay. So now they put these mouse in there, right? They put 60 or to 80 mouse in there, right? And healthy mouse, right? Even amount of males, even amount of females. So they go through the first stage, right? I should have wrote down the stages, right? I wrote down one stage, but I should have wrote down the second experiment stage, right? But they broke down the stages, and the first stage is basically the mouse walking around the entrapment, getting the feel of the place, right? Then as they're doing that, the woman is pretty much evenly spread out amongst all four corners of the corridors or whatever. Then the men, they then start to jockey for power because they got the food, the water, and the nesting. Now they jockey for power. And when the male hierarchy is established, right, like the alpha males versus the less dominating males, they said the less dominating males, they would get up early to scavenge the area for food. So what they'll for food. So they'll go to what will happen is, because I told you the top left corner have a bridge that goes to the bottom left corner. So those mouse will cross that bridge over there to eat because the dominating mouse, the alpha mouse, was on the top left corner. And the mice that was on the top right corner, those less dominating mouse will cross to the left, the bottom left corner. And the dominating mouse will be on the top right corner. So you got dominant alpha mouse on the left top and alpha mouse on the right top. And you got the less dominating mouse crossing over the bridge to the bottom portion to eat. Okay. So now, when the alpha mouse would wake up later on, because they didn't wake up early, they woke up in the middle of the day. So when the alpha mouse wake up, they started to lock down the bridge. So they wouldn't allow the less dominating mouse to cross over the bridge. So all coming back over the bridge. So it made that first set of males stay in the bottom part of the pen, eating. And the alphas was in the top part, breeding and protecting their territory from other men, right? The top parts had more of the woman was up there also, right? So then they were talking about, and before I continue, then they were talking about the food. So there's two foods, feeding situation was going on. One feeding situation, they would feed them with a powder type meal where it's like you could just eat it real quick and that's it. And then another pen, they would give them like harder pellets. So when they eat it, it takes them a longer time to really get the food, so more mice would gather in these areas. So that's important to know too. So they said the less dominating mouse that didn't leave the top portion where the alpha males was, they would lay up under the female rats to stay out the way of the alpha males, but they wouldn't sleep with the female rats.
Yeah, they wouldn't breed with them.
They wouldn't breed with the female rats, but they would try to mate with the dominating males. And the dominating males wouldn't fight the attempts of the less dominating males in that group. And during all these, you know what I'm saying? So, and they showing this unnatural condition, and when I'm hearing it, I'm listening to it, and I'm feeling to myself, one of the number one reasons I feel like for the issue is what? You have food, clothing, and shelter being provided to you. You don't have to hunt and fight for that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no rules and parameters because it's given to you. So that's what end up taking away a lot of these, that, you know what I'm saying, that real aggression, because now it becomes, well, now my aggression is just towards another person. That's why you hear me a lot of times on the show, I'll be like, I don't really subscribe to that alpha male shit because I never see the alpha male shit be displayed in a manner in which you walking down an alpha male's community and it's like, yo, there's no police brutality here because you got alpha males in this block. Ain't no rapes, ain't no black woman being snatched here, ain't no disrespect, none of that shit, yo, because you got men on this fucking block. I never see that. Only time I see this alpha male shit be displayed is when one man want to dominate another man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, other than that, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So me, I leave that to that Greek shit. But it's just funny when they're breaking down how these hierarchies and how these ideologies play out. So, where was that? Dominating, fighting attempts, food on side, powder. So they go, the harder pellets made it take longer to eat, right? We're talking about the food shit now, right? So these are the bottom left and the bottom right areas now, right? So the harder pellets made it longer to eat. So the rats got used to eating in groups. And they got so used to eating in groups to the point that rats wouldn't eat unless other rats was present. So they always wanted to eat around each other. You see what I'm saying? Because they got used to doing that shit now. Then they go, because most of the less dominating rats were at the bottom portion of the pen. I told you they was at the bottom left and the bottom right. And the bottom left and the bottom right is the only pins that the rats can go back and forth without nobody messing with them. They can't go up left or up right because the alpha rats was locking the bridge down. They wouldn't let none of them niggas come through. They said because most of the less dominating rats were at the bottom portion of the pen, more rats started migrating down there because of the social eating patterns. So the bottom half of the pen, to eat with the groups, causing the bottom left and the bottom right portion of the pen to get overpopulated. So that's when the term behavioral sink was created. And they start to talk about how it affects the pathological well, let me break down the whole behavioral sink. So let's say behavioral sink is a term invented by John B. Calhoun to describe a collapse in behavior, which can result in from overcrowding. The term and concept derives from a series of overpopulation experiments, because experiments conducted on Norway rats between 1958 and 1962. The experiments, Calhoun and his researchers created a series of rat utopias, enclosed spaces in which rats was given unlimited access to food and water, enabling unfettered population growth. Calhoun coined the term behavioral sink in his February 1st, 1962 report. Titled Population Density and Social Pathology in the Scientific American. So this is what he described. Many female rats were unable to carry pregnancies to full term or to survive deliveries of their litters if they did. An even greater number, after successfully giving birth, fell short in their maternal functions. Among the males, the behavior disturbance ranged from sexual deviation to cannibalism, and from frenetic overactivity to a pathological withdrawal from which individuals would emerge to eat, drink, and move about only when other members of the community were asleep. The social organization of the animals showed equal disruption. The common source of this disruption became most dramatically apparent in the population of our first series of 3 experiments, in which we observed the development of what we call a behavioral sink. The animals would crowd together in greatest numbers in one of the 4 interconnecting pens in which the colony was maintained. As many as 60 to 80 rats in each experiment population would assemble in one pen during periods of feeding. Individual rats would rarely eat except in the company of other rats. As a result, extreme population density developed in the pen, adopting from eating, leaving the others with sparse populations. In the experiment in which the behavior sink developed, infant mortality ran as high as 96%. Among the most disorientated groups in the population. So that's that, right? So all right. So then it goes. So again, so behavior sink is just your mental. You just mentally cracking. You're breaking down. You're not being normal. You're losing. You're not being human no more. You're breaking down. You're changing. You're losing just your sense of who you are, right? So it goes. The overpopulation effect on females was not enough room for nesting and raising children. During the behavioral sink, the mother rat started to engage in other social activities, neglecting her young. After a while, this resulted in a nest that wasn't equipped to house her young properly. And if she moved, she might leave a baby rat. Like, she wouldn't even take all her children. She'll just pack up who she could pack up, whoever got left. That's it. When the female rat was in heat, now I know you remember this part, Simone. When the female rat is in heat, because of the close environment, all the less dominating males on that bottom row or whatever, really all the males, but they now would hunt her down for some ass because they could smell that she's ready to fuck. And I'm talking 4 or 5 rats on that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays we'll call that what? Catcalling, right? When you're in the city, right? So even if they go in her nest, if she goes in her nest, a male rat will run up in the nest. And what we don't know is rats court. A male rat courts a female rat. They just don't go and hump and fuck. They don't do that. They court them. They got to entice the woman to get some pussy. But now, because of this experiment and the behavioral sink and the breakdown of this rat society, really, now these male rats don't give a fuck about courting the female rats. Now they just want pussy. That shit sound familiar? Right? So then it goes,
it's crazy.
And that's some crazy shit, right? So then it goes, even if they go, okay, all right. So this results in infant mortality, cause some of the, right, because some of the dominant rats will lash out and attack the baby rats. Under the alpha rats, right, was 3 other types of rats. So that means all of them other ones were the alpha rats what I was talking about. So under the alpha rats, the guy John Calhoun, he breaks it down into 3 parts. Three parts under the alpha rats. The homosexuals, which he later described as the pansexuals, they wouldn't fight for status. Now, Smoke, do that sound familiar? We got a lot of pansexual niggas out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Because I be scratching my head and I be wondering, like, yo, why black people not fighting for dominance? Why are we fighting for everybody else's shit? Why are we not trying to better ourselves? Why are we not trying to fucking stand up in control? How are we letting everybody else just fucking rise above us? We don't got that fight in us. Why? Man, niggas is pansexuals. They wouldn't fight for status. They just wanted to mate. Now listen to this, Smoke. They just wanted to mate with any gender mice of any age. So they wanted to fuck all these pansexual, homosexual mice. They didn't want status. They didn't want to rise above. They didn't want to be top dog. They just wanted to fuck man, woman, or child. Man, woman, child, because it said they would mate with any gender or age. Savage. Showing you these conditions is turning these rats into this. And then they put us in these same conditions, and then they tell you was born that way. So then they go, so they say, and like the end pins, now the end pins is the top left and the top right. When these pansexual rats was out here doing whatever they doing, they was met unchallenged. Nobody challenged what they was doing. Nobody challenged what they was doing. Now they go, the third group is called the somnambulists. They said they moved slow in the pen. They didn't interact with others in the pen. They was fat, sleek, and healthy looking. So these are motherfuckers, they stay out of everybody's way. And when the crazy ones is out the way, then they come out, they eat, and they move away. They don't even want to be a part of none of this shit. Then they got the probers, which John Calhoun said was the strangest group, which was group 3. He said the probers was hyperactive, hypersexual, and pansexual, despite violence from the dominant males. So despite the dominant males attacking the probers, because that's the reason why the dominant males are there, the alpha males, was to protect the females. Who are they protecting them from? The probers. The probers, hyperactive, hypersexual, and pansexual. Despite violence from the dominant males, they would aggressively pursue female rats in heat. And they would aggressively pursue the female rat in heat in their nesting area, meaning they kicking in the door for that rat pussy. You know what I'm saying? They kicking in the door for that rat pussy. So they said they would also eat the female rat young, the baby rats. So they go inside. Now, Smoke, how many rat ass niggas? I ain't gonna say that because we don't hang around niggas like that. But how that you've heard of these type of stories? Yeah, like these niggas are coming inside the crib type shit, beating up the woman and all kind of shit like that, kill the kids, fucking the daughters and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? These are social engineering that we dealing with. That's creating these type of fucking monsters. And then they wonder, well, how are they becoming like that? Yeah, because all of these different groups and these attributes and the way these rats are moving, you could see that shit in project buildings in New York. You could see that shit because we come from the inner city, we could see that in the inner city all day. You know what I'm saying? All fucking day. We could see that within our group as black people. The way we don't fight for dominance no more. We don't fight for status. We don't have no fucking pride. We don't want to do shit, yo. We want to fight for everybody while we sit in the back. And then we wonder why homosexuality and all this fluid bullshit is so prevalent in our community. We're breeding weak people. What else is in our community, Smoke? Abortion, high, right? Abortion. We're going to talk about abortion. So they said at the conclusion of this first group testing that he did before he redid it, right, with mice. This is in Norway. He's at the conclusion. He would take 4 of the healthiest female rats and 4 of the healthiest male rats to breed them. They said, but the behavior has been so broke down. Yeah, that like the conditioning of what they learn, because this is not one generation rat. You feel what I'm saying? This is like 5, 6 generation rats. The original ones died off, right? So they go, it's so out of whack that none of their pups, of the 4 females and the 4 males, none of their pups survived beyond weaning. None of them survived beyond weaning. They lost the ability to even raise a baby rat up into adulthood. Sound familiar?
They're probably not eating properly. All that shit.
Don't. Yeah. Imagine now in the human form, black women have babies, man not there. The daughter, and she ain't teaching the daughter shit about being a woman. The boys out there don't know shit about being no boy. They ain't reading, they ain't writing, none of that shit. They out there in the projects and shit committing crimes. She don't know how to be no mother. But she got babies. Because all she know how to do is what? Open up her legs. He don't know how to be no father. But he got babies. Because all he know how to do is what? Stick his dick in something. But they don't know what to do once the baby come. Why? Because they was never trained. They lost that knowledge. All of this is a social experiment that's being put on to mice. So now they talk about the second experiment that was done with the mice, right, in 1968. The first one I read was in Norway in 1958, and this one is 1968. So now this is the second part. So now they go with the alpha male. They go, okay, it gets more in depth now. So it goes, the alpha male, he had to fight for rank, right? But as the young rats got older, they're fighting for rank. And the alphas are still fighting. But guess what? The young bulls, they start to dominate. Sound familiar? All you niggas on the street corners, and y'all holding down the block. But them young boys start lighting fire to your ass. And y'all try, you know what I'm saying? Come on, this is not a story that's never been told before.
Young man's game.
Young man's game.
Sport.
So they say the old men, after a while, when they got too exhausted to damn protect the woman from the young rats, they said now the woman had to now get food and protect her nest and her damn self. Because the older men got exhausted. They couldn't keep protecting it no more from the young boys.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar? So now the woman got to get out there. She got to get the food. She got to fight and protect her nest from intruders and shit. This caused the female rat to begin to develop aggressive behavior. So now the female rats, they're overly aggressive now. And then in their over aggressiveness, guess what? They start attacking their babies, Smoke. They start attacking. Sounds familiar? You looking at these single mothers out here frustrated and shit like that. Child get on their nerve. They bopping the goddamn child and shit. You know what I'm saying? Child coming out fucking fat lips and all kind of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or worse, you know? So now they got aggressive behavior. She ended up turning on her youth. She said, or push them out the nest before they're done weaning. Sound familiar?
Get out of here.
Yeah, you gonna get the fuck out of my house. You wanna sell drugs and get the fuck out of my house.
Just like your dad.
15 years old. Boy, still what they said. Boy still got similar behind his ears. Get the fuck out. I'm listening to Vlad TV. They got some boy, one of them little rapper boys out there from Savannah or some shit. This nigga talking about he running the streets 11 years old and shit. He 11 years old and shit. Running streets and police looking for me and I'm just like, y'all don't get it, boy. I'm reading a story about a rat. Yeah, young Ace, yeah. I'm reading a story about the social experiments being done on rats. Rats. And you telling me that we don't understand what's going on? Why am I reading about rats and they're projecting the same attributes as some of us, our poorest people? Because it's not just black people, but I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about black people. It's not just Americans. You know what I'm saying? There's black people all over the country developing the same shit because it's a social engineering. That means it don't matter the people. You can put them in the same conditioning and they're going to do the same shit. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So then they go, a whole generation of rejected young rats are now populating the pens and are socially awkward, right? These rats attack each other, right? They start fighting each other, clicking up like gangs and shit. These rats and shit like that. Some of the rats who they ain't got no fight in them, they just allow the other rats just to bite them on their tails and all kind of shit like that. They said the female rats had less babies, and the one who did have babies didn't have any motherly instincts beyond weaning. So outside of weaning the baby,
She's having a baby.
meaning giving it, huh?
Just having a baby, basically.
Having a baby and giving it milk.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Just a bottle, little baby.
Well, take the bottle out, I little nigga. Bye. And you like, whoa, mama, wait a minute. Wait, mama, wait. Yeah, that's what's going on. They said the male counterpart to these non-producing females. I'm gonna read that again. The male counterparts to these non-reproducing females. What do we have now, Smoke? A bunch of non-producing females. If it ain't through abortions, you straight up got black women saying, I'm not having no babies. And I'm like, who's going to take care of you when you old? You are retarded. You know what I'm saying? So they said the non-producing the male counterparts to the non-producing females were soon dubbed the beautiful ones. They never engaged in sexual approaches towards females, and they never fight. They had no wounds or scar tissues. Their behavioral repertoire came largely confined, eating, drinking, sleeping, and grooming.
Why not?
And they said at the end of the experiment that by the time the generation of rats that knew how to take care of a baby and raise a baby rat up to adulthood had died off, when that last one died off, it was basically countdown to the end of the whole fucking population. Because they wasn't breeding.
Yeah, it was over.
They wasn't breeding. Yeah, it was over. They didn't know how to raise a child. They didn't know how to bring the child up to adulthood. The men was fucking each other. Or
that's for the
being
dynasty.
up into the... Yeah, it's like, why am I reading a story about rats and could compare that shit to our condition? And we think this shit just happened?
Crazy.
We think shit just happened. This is social engineering. This is social fucking engineering. This shit is done on purpose. That's like having a bunch of dudes inside of a fucking room looking at porno and being fed fucking Viagra and then being told, all right, y'all go inside this room here with a bunch of fucking strippers. and you wonder why these niggas trying to fuck. This shit was done on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's designed this way. It's set up this way. They said, I wonder what would happen if we do this, what will happen? If we keep these people confined, what will happen? Donald Trump. We're going to take, 70,000 or some shit like that, or 700,000 people off of food stamps? Black media. Donald Trump ought to do something about food stamps. So you want the government to feed you, clothe you, and shelter you. And then wonder why environments where the government feeds you, clothe you, and shelter you, why they show the same attributes as the rats I just read. Because you could go to any ghetto. It's sad. Because we don't even realize this shit. It's conditioning. When you take a man, this is what I always tell motherfuckers. You know what's funny? Because I was talking about it with the food stamps, 2 shows ago. And I said, yeah, okay, my girl, she gets food stamps or whatever. That's cool. But I'm not applying for no fucking food stamps. I'm a fucking man. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get bread. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get my money up. You got boys nowadays, they don't got that that love for the hustle. They don't got that hunter's drive. These boys out here nowadays will starve in the grocery store. If they was locked in the grocery store, they'll starve.
No, they not.
These niggas don't know how to
starving.
get money.
They running up in the nest. And they getting on like that.
Yeah.
That's how they doing it.
This shit, yo, when I tell you this shit is weird, yo, and it's bugged the fuck out, because when you listen to the whole narrative and you listen to the people when they talk and shit like that, it's two shits. Now it's this mouse utopia social engineering experiment, and it's the capitalistic pyramid. When I put those two shits together, I see it now. These niggas is here eating off of our pain and our suffering. They get mad every time we ask the question, Smoke. Yo, why they not talking about the black man? Shut the fuck up. What about the black agenda? Shut the fuck up. Yo, what y'all gonna do about black? What about reparations? Shut the fuck up. Well, we ain't gonna vote then. Hold on, what's wrong with y'all dumb niggas? What you mean you're gonna vote? These people died for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do what I
it's the same shit. It's just, yo, if they win the election, thank you black people for your vote and ignore us. If they lose the election, that's the problem, black people. See, y'all don't vote. That's why y'all ain't got shit and can't get shit. And I'm like, wait, so we don't get nothing if you win, and we get blamed if you lose? That ain't no. What the how we benefit off of that shit?
Right.
You put us in these situations, and you put us in these conditions that alters our development. Now you got these 55 boys nowadays that walks around and shit like that, want to gun at each other and all kind of shit like that because they don't even know they're not dominating men. You have no aggression, you have no nothing. That's why you shooting. For example, oh man, so my girl, she watching this World Star video, right? You might want to check this out for her. It's Ayo, some Chicago rapper named Ayo KD. You remember that name?
Nah.
So on World Star, and he's in the house or whatever with some like I think 2 chicks and him, his homeboy, and another dude, right? So this dude, he drunk and shit, and on the tape they saying he trying to sexually assault a woman in the room. So, he has the idea of aggressive and shit on the girl or whatever. So they like, yo, man, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fucking rape shorty. So he like, the short dark skinned dude, he not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's like, ignoring it, whatever. He drunk. He out of it. Yo, why is AOKD dude gonna pull out a gun? Talking about, yo, man, back to see looking at him like he not even fazed by the gun shit. You know what I'm saying? And this nigga pull out a gun and all kind of shit. Then he want to call another dude. When the other dude come into the room, now they want to jump him. The dark-skinned black dude, the short dude, the racist, right?
Right.
So they jump him, and it's like the Ayo KD, the one that pull out the dude, the gun, he can't fight unless the other dude there to fight. And I'm sitting over here like, they get pots and pans, hitting him in the head with pots and pans and all kind of shit like that. It was a fucking stupid melee. Yeah, but I'm watching this shit and it's just so fucking weird because this dude yelling at the dark-skinned dude, he putting out a gun on the dark-skinned dude, and I'm like, why you ain't just tagging this nigga up? Just tag the nigga up. You know what I'm saying? First thing he was doing, bringing the gun. See, but what happened is, there's no, the rules and the parameters and the model of being a man, that shit is getting faded out. See, so what happened now is, and what a lot of black men have to understand, this is the time when you need to start to write books for your own household at the very least on what it is to be a man. You better write literature for your bloodline on what it is to be a man. Because they're trying to eliminate. Yo, they got magazines and shit, Smoke. We redefining masculinity. You're redefining masculinity? You're redefining what it is to be a man? You're redefining what it is to be a woman? It's all social engineering. And black people, we're fucked up in the whole game because we're dependent on these other races to live. And because we're dependent on these other races, we have to be a part of whatever sick agenda they have. No different than a foreign nation, Smoke, needing help. I need funds. I'm from Uganda. I need funds from America. And America say, all right, Uganda, you want funds from us? Cool, we'll give you the funds, but you need to allow homosexuality to be okay in your country. Now all of a sudden, yes, Uganda for the gays. Yeah, okay. Right. Why? Because you need that funding. And that's how it is for black people. We depend on everybody for everything. So guess what? When they want to implement their little sick ways on us, we have to bend over and take that shit. Why? Because we don't want to vow for rank. We don't want to rock. We don't want to stand on
Right.
our own. We want to be whatever society will tell us to be. We don't want to be number one. We want everybody to walk hand in hand together. We want the black and brown to work together. When the fuck have brown worked for us? Retarded shit, Smoke. Retarded shit,
That's real, man. That's real. That's the damn reality we face with and shit. That shit's sad, you know. Like, I'm over here grim, like, damn, the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, to be compared to rats and shit, it's like, damn, that's how we living and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it ain't no joke out here, you know what I'm saying? And that's the reality of it and shit. It's like, we got to do better for ourselves and our damn families and shit, you know what I'm saying? That shit weird out here, man. We following this, a whole crazy political paradigm that definitely don't even fit us. It's like we fighting for that. It's like, shit, fight for yourself, man. Man. With that whole that documentary, that John Calhoun shit, that shit was crazy, man. I damn anybody who listening, y'all need to go check that joint out. You know what I'm saying? They got a few YouTube documentaries on it that you can just like watch it through. I know some of that.
But you know what, Smoke?
The diagram.
This is why you have.
Hard to keep up.
But this is why you have to have a black mind. You know, their spin on that whole shit is population control.
Right. Right.
That's what their whole spin is. But the shit ain't population control. Then it's not, because they're trying to make it like overcrowded. If you read the white person bullshit analysis of it, so you don't really understand what's going on, they say overcrowded and overpopulation. And what happens is, if we're in an overcrowded population, what happens is, you know, it will be the end of society. And that is not what that's about, and that is not what that's showing and saying. It's showing that when you don't allow people to be and to do what they're supposed to do, have your economy, take care of yourself and your family, have purpose. You see what I'm saying? And you have people now sitting around just being fed. They're not going to be who they're supposed to be. They're not going to live up to their true potential. Your true potential is supposed to elevate and to build yourself up and to rise to a higher level. Not to say I'm not going to vow for status. That makes no sense. That's like your son in school, Smoke, and your son makes a C, and you're like, well, you know, that's not bad, you know, just, you know, work harder and you can get a better grade. And he's like, no, Dad, I'm happy with the C.
That's cool, man.
I'm cool. Like, this is, you running a race and shit, you get in second place, and you like, yo, don't worry, man, you're going to beat them next time. You was close. And you're like, no, I'm cool with second place, Dad. I didn't want first place. I wanted second place. I've always wanted silver. Like, I've always wanted it. I never wanted gold. Like, that makes no fucking sense. And guess what? If you have a child who thinks like that, I don't want to be number one. I don't want to push myself, because it's not about being number one. It's about pushing yourself to get there. Even if you don't be number one, at least you got that drive. You see what I'm saying? We don't have the drive. So once you don't got the drive to do, that's when you become passive. You don't care. Somebody could walk and grab your woman on her ass. What you gonna do? You gonna complain about what she wearing? You mad at her? I told your ass stop shaking your ass like that. Yeah, because like there's nothing there. And then what happened next?
Right.
Because this is what I always explain. It ain't about now. It ain't about us. It's about the babies. Because now the babies is watching. these less dominating men. Because remember, Smokes, it wasn't, even though the alpha males was doing what the alpha males was doing, it wasn't the alpha males who was really the issue. You got to listen to the whole story. These are generations. These are generations. So what happened is, when the other males is coming up, who's the major population? It's the less dominating men. What was the less dominating men doing? The less dominating men was out here running up behind the woman's ass, trying to fuck, going all inside the, you know what I'm saying? They overpopulated. Everybody trying to get pussy and shit now. So now the babies is seeing this. And what happened with the probers? Them niggas was straight rapists and murderers. Them niggas was insane. The probers, the third group. So the babies is watching this. So now when they get older, they're not looking at the young rat female and saying, oh, let me go and give her some berries so she could like me so I could get some pussy. Now they teaming up on her like, yo, bust that pussy, yo. Bust that pussy, yo. Straight up. And then you know what happened to the young female rats? They start to accept bust that pussy, yo. They start to accept that. So now you got a generation now of male rats that gets older now, and all they want to do is bust down some rat pussy. You got the female rats who have to now fight to keep her baby rats alive from male rats. She's over-aggressive. She's losing her motherliness. She can't hardly keep. They even said that even if she's pregnant, she can absorb the rat, baby rat in her belly.
Yeah, I remember that
which
part.
Is what?
I thought
Abortion.
that shit was crazy. Yeah, pretty much.
And that's abortion. So why am I
I don't want to deal with this one.
Yeah, go.
Oh no, I was just fucking around. But I mean, yeah, when I saw that, I thought that was crazy. How they could just fucking do that shit based on conditions. You know what I'm saying? But like, but in their world, that would equate to abortion. You know, like you said.
Yeah, so they out here seeing their conditions fucked up. They out here practicing abortions and shit. You know what I'm saying? The babies is coming up. They're losing their identity of who and what it is to be a fucking rat. So now they're becoming these new fucking shits where they're practicing homosexuality, which is not part of their culture. Where they're raping the fucking female rats, which is not part of their culture. They're eating the baby rats, which is not part of their culture. You see what I'm saying? And they're doing all of these acts, and guess what? Their population dies. The population doesn't die because of the increase of the population. The population died because of the activity. Because if you remember in one of the Park Smoke, they talked about how when the rats was populating, the rats wouldn't rise above a certain number.
Yeah.
They wouldn't rise above a certain number. So
250. I think the first one was like 250. I think it was. If I ain't mistaken.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but
it was something.
Yeah, it was a number.
Yeah. So so that wasn't the problem. The population. The population was the activity that was going on. But they always want to tell you that the problem is the population. We're going to be overpopulated, overcrowded. No. But I'm going to get into why white people get into all of that. Because every group have a different thing that they care about. Like whites is always obsessed with life and death, population, and things of that, history and shit, because they don't know where they came from. They don't know where they came from. That's why they always want to know the beginning of time and all kind of stuff. And they enter the population because they're the least on the planet. So they always have this obsession with the population. Just like with China, yeah, because they're the last. That's just like with the Chinese. They always have a obsession with genes and genetics. They want to create. They want to. They want to correct their genes. You know what I'm saying? But I'll break into all of that shit. You know, we're coming to the end. But this is In Black America Radio. We're gonna shut this down. You know, it's 11 o'clock. You're gonna see us again. You gonna say anything, Smokes, before we shut it down?
Shit. Thanks for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Go peep that documentary. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of them on YouTube. That shit is dope. And it'll help shit make sense. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we out of here though.
That's right.